One minute. First of all, Mr. Subramaniam Swamy, is there an attempt being made by you to dress up the case as a criminal conspiracy? Because this is a civil case in which he has not been found guilty.
Again, you're back to that. Once this case is decided, a criminal case will be an outcome of this. Once it's established there was fraud, coercion, I will go to the criminal court and file a criminal case against him.
Okay. So 1 minute. Counter question here to Mr. Keshav Rao is there an attempt being made by you, Mr. Rao, to downplay the case as just an election petition trial? No. The Home Minister owes his position.
I can understand neither the loud assertions of Sitaram or the Mr. Subramaniam's own distorted facts are not substitute for the legal facts and procedures. Question is that once it is proved, he will go to the criminal case. We also know once it is proved, he will go out. Once they are proved, this 19 proved, that means the election is set aside. The Chidambaram will be no more there. He will no more be MP. What you do between you, it is between you and Chidambaram once they are proved. But question today is the petition, the charges, so-called complaint is before the court. There is nothing like prima facie, which you also know, Subramaniam, in the RP Act. What is there is...
Mr. Swamy is responding.
I have fought 40 cases of my own. Look here, please understand me. Question is, that material that is before the judge, in the High Court, they are prima facie. They become prima facie. He looks into it and he admits it. And the moment...
That's exactly enough.
But today, you had something to say, Nirmala?
Yes, very much, Mr. Keshav Rao. Exactly. We have been saying that the 27 points in front of the court is what the court found as meritorious enough to start the trial. Yeah. And that is on the ground of which we are all asking for his resignation. Because we all know if the trial is starting on the basis of those 27 points, there is merit. The court has seen merit in those 27 points. Why are we obfuscating this?
If the court has... No, all right. If the court has said there is strength in these 27, if the court has said, I would have understood. These are the petition, these are the charges, like you are making wild charges on the Congress party, these are the things which your friend has done. So, once they are scrutinized, once they are tested, once they are put to trial because you are asking.
1 second, can either...
petition. Now, what Chidambaram asked is quashing the order. He said, please don't look into those papers at all. That the court said no.
So, if there was no prima facie case, wouldn't it have been quashed? You are saying there is no application of mind.
And therefore,
are you saying there is no application? Are you saying there is no application of mind made by a court of law? 1 minute,
when
Mr.
the
Keshav Rao.
request for quashing has not been accepted, what does it mean?
Mr. Keshav Rao, are you saying that a court of law does not apply its mind while deciding whether or not to hold a case? I mean, the case was of striking. Right. Are you making that insinuation against the court?
No, you are not understand. That is what exactly the subtleties of law you must understand. When the material papers are given to the court in an election petition,
it is given with documents.
When they substantiate it in their own fashion, they become prima facie of the petition. You understand?
Okay,
when
1 second.
Going to it is not the investigation agency which Sitaraman is.
Subramaniam Swamy, take a question. Subramaniam Swamy, take a question, please.
This was not a case of Mr. Kannappan's lawyer moving evidence before the court. This was a petition moved in an interrogatory petition moved by Mr. Chidambaram, saying that none of the charges have any substance. We should be struck off the records. And that was the delay.
1 minute,
and the delay was because otherwise the matter would have gone on in a normal
Swamy,
way.
Mr. Swamy.
Yes.
Mr. Swamy, now let us go on fact, please. You have seen this petition. The fact is this, the most important point number 4 in the petition says that the petitioner respectfully submits that the first respondent, which is Chidambaram, I presume nobody else, managed to secure this victory by corrupt practices and by bringing upon, 1 minute, undue influence in his capacity as the Union Home Minister. This has been rejected. Yes. Point number 4 rejected.
Well, that's all right. Read the others.
Yes. Now let's read. Yeah, let's read.
Talk about coercion.
Let's read. Yeah.
Yes, read all the charges.
Point number 5.
Start with,
Petitioner, point number 5, submits that the returning officer made ready a well-designed ground for ensuring the victory of the first respondent by enlisting into election duty officials from nationalized banks in Shivaganga district, and then goes on to draw a link between banks and what Chidambaram did as finance minister, and therefore his undue influence on these people. It's rejected. Point number 5 rejected.
4 and 5, read 6.
I've read 4 and 5 critical parts. Rejected.
This is not critical. That is your opinion. The country doesn't know what 1 to 3 is and 6 onwards to 29 is. And you're reading 4 and 5 and saying this is critical.
No, but
what do you mean? There are 27 charges which have been found to have substantive evidence.
Mr. Subramaniam Swamy, has the court, yes or no, struck off allegations of state machinery being deployed to ensure Chidambaram's victory?
That doesn't matter.
Why?
They may have struck it off. But the remaining 27 make out coercion, they make out fraud, they make out so many other things. You have to look at the whole thing. Yeah, 2 charges were removed. Mrs. Gandhi was election was set aside. After removing all the other charges against them, only one, that the building on which she addressed the parapet on which she addressed the meeting, that was constructed with state money. And her election was set aside.
So there's a demand.
So don't go by what is important and what is not important. There are 29 charges. 27 have been found to have prima facie evidence.
I draw back Vinod Mehta. Vinod Mehta, please, at this point of time. Mr. Vinod Mehta, you know, is this how is it that a demand for Chidambaram's resignation becomes a day-long affair almost? You know, where every alternate day, the Congress says the BJP is demanding Chidambaram's resignation.
No, now one doesn't have to be a legal wizard.
Actually, you should be asking me that question.
I will ask you. Yes, Mr.
You want to reply, Nirmala? I haven't had a chance to speak for a long time, so I was biding my...
Mr. Vinod Mehta, go ahead. Mr. Mehta,
please go ahead. And it's always nice to hear you.
Yes, go ahead.
No, what I am saying is that you don't have to be a legal wizard to believe that prima facie means prima facie. There are so many cases which the court tries on prima facie evidence and finally rejects them. We should at this point of time be examining only one question, is what is the situation as it exists today? Those 27 counts on which the court will hear this case, it is possible that they may find Chidambaram guilty, but it is also possible that they may find Chidambaram innocent of irregular practices. So I think that rather than say resign, immediately resign.
Yeah.
Let us wait for the court verdict to be heard, and then at the moment we are trying to tell the court what to do. Let's wait for the court.
No.
You'll get this. I mean,
Mr.
people who are after Chidambaram blood will get their pound of flesh. But at the moment, there is no call for that.
By this count, Mr. Mehta wouldn't have wanted Raja to resign, Shibu Soren to resign, Kalmadi to resign. What is it that you're saying? Here is the Home Minister supposed to maintain law and order. His election is full of fraud, at least prima facie. Therefore, he should step down, just as Mr. Raja stepped down, just as Kalmadi stepped down, just as Shibu Soren stepped down.
Mr. Keshav Rao wants to come in. Yes, Mr. Rao.
Now, yeah. See, Mr. Mehta is right. That is exactly the law position. It's another matter. Subramanian is asking for the morals to come in the personal cost to be taken. It's another matter. We'll discuss that also. Now, as Mehta says, if the court, you have put up not serious cases, you are saying, serious charges, you have given the material also, that it is before the court. Now, until it is proved, we will not talk about it. So the law will take its own course. But now I come to Mr. Subramanian. He has put 2 important elements into it. What he says is, other charges, other complaints, or other in the petition also contain serious issues like coercion, which is criminal, like that. If they are criminal and you are not seeking an election petition, go to court, go to criminal court. that so-and-so had used coercion. It can be other than outside the petition. So today we are discussing, Arnab and we are discussing in times now an election petition. Election petition has its own procedure.
But an elected...
Today it is a civil case.
An elected...
And as you are saying, Mr. Subramaniam...
No, Mr. Keshav Rao. Mr. Keshav Rao, simple factual point in response to you. Any elected representative who faces such a legal challenge, in my knowledge, has an option to file a preliminary objection and a strike-off petition. In this case, in Mr. Chidambaram's case, both the petitions have been dismissed. I think the first was in August 2011 and now one.
That's right.
Right? So he has exercised his options in both.
The second time.
And it's been dismissed second time.
Right. Yes.
So
it is a procedure. It is a legal procedure.
Okay.
It's a court procedure.
It's procedural.
If you are trying to find fault in the procedure also, the legal rights given to me,
procedural.
then what is the right to
not begun.
Mr. Mehta or even Subramaniam is right. The day they are proved through the proper process of law, then everything
okay,
is
it's procedural. Don't read too much into it. The debate's hotting up out here. 1 minute.
Should Raja have resigned?
Well, difference of perspective. Subramaniam Swamy's press conference today was within 1 hour of that news. So Mr. Subramaniam Swamy following that story very, very closely. Vinod Mehta, Nirmala Sitharaman, Keshav Rao and Subramaniam Swamy, I thank you for joining me on debate number 1 on the News Hour tonight.